Welcome to another episode of Black Space Project North America. I wanted to get this video started right now before I lose my sun ray. As you can see, that's coming through the background here. Um, this video is about what I've been calling for years now, the Sandman drone, which has been named the Buga Spear. Finally, you get to see that I've been telling the truth the whole time. For all of you that have doubted, possibly doubted if I knew what I was talking about. I never doubted myself ever because this is something that I became aware of. I didn't theorize it, I became aware of it. And after then, I just couldn't stop talking about it because I knew it was something that had to be discovered, something that had to be uncovered, I should say. And finally, it's been uncovered. I won't talk about anything other than that right now. But all I can say is, for any of you that have been following me, you may see that the views have been suppressed on this video. You know good and well, if I'm talking about a subject of science, such as this, it is not. The views that you see does not reflect interest. Believe that. Believe that wholeheartedly, because on this platform, you really have to make an ass of yourself to get views, and everyone knows that. And I'm not about to want to do something like that. If I do show myself in some sort of way, it's very controlled. Very controlled. But anyway, so what I wanted to say was this is something that I've been talking about for a very long time. And it's there. It's there. Now, there are some things that I know more about the Buga Spear than I've been letting on. That I've recently, within the past couple of years up until now, have come to. I think I talked about it in one of my videos. I think I have. Come to think of it, I think I have. But why do I keep talking about it? It's been discovered, and I did think I said at one time that I would move on to something else, and that's kind of pretty much the time to do so now. But I can't help but to wonder, should I move on to something else right now at this moment? Because what needs to be talked about is why. Why did it uncloak itself and appear in Buga, Colombia? So here's my take on things. I'll just jump straight into it. It obviously flies around in South America because it doesn't feel as threatened. It's not going to have a military that's going to completely deploy itself into the skies and chase it down and try to strike it, or even people that will shoot at it like Americans would. So it chooses a less hostile environment to show itself and to give itself up, to sacrifice itself in a way that you can call it that. It allowed itself to be captured. I would say it allowed itself to be captured because a power line, any drone with any type of laser avoidance could avoid a power line. It obviously has the ability to see. Oh, that's what I want to talk about. That's one of the things that I was wondering. How is it able to process image? How is it able to see? The only thing that's on it that appears to be a camera is that hole in the middle of what looks like a computer chip, which I have already told you many times before it revealed itself to the world, that that its way of seeing the world was pretty much probably through a laser. So basically, the way I put it, I didn't say it in those words, but in a roundabout term, that's how I said it. So the direction that it projects its image is how it sees. I would say I would go a step further and say that in the direction that it projects its image, its entire surface, now that I know something different, is its visual receiver. Why do I say that? They discovered glass-like fibers around, woven around the sphere, like fiber optics. That tells me a lot. Because not only could those fiber optics be used in its cloaking process, and you can easily imagine how. We have an understanding of how LCD screens project an image. Light can be sent through a fiber optic, and in a complicated way, that medium in which you use to transport light can also be used to receive light. So it can be one giant visual receptor, aka a camera or emitter, possibly at the same time. So imagine a camera that sees in a true 360 form. Huh. But not at a single point, at the circumference, at the outer surface, all around. That's something to think about. That gives it the ability to see in a way that's, oh, let's see. That would be like if anyone knows what I'm talking about, that's like your third eye. And if any of you out there are capable of recognizing visuals from your third eye, it's something that's totally different from seeing in one direction and seeing peripheral. You understand it, you know what you're seeing, but it's very hard to put into words or conceptualize if you don't know how to do it. But it is doable. I've done it before. Seeing with your third eye is something totally different. It is a 360 view in many ways. And I can describe it as knowing what direction sound is coming from. So that goes back to this. How in the world can a artificial intelligent device run into a power line? It had to have been deliberate. I think it may have made a conscious choice to do that. It deviated from its program. That's what I would think. This is me just thinking. It deviated from its program for a specific reason, for a specific cause. Or because someone asked it to. I wonder who that was. Anyway, so I'm about to smoke me a cigar here, but I'll not do that right now because it'll take up time. But so with that thought in mind, with that thought completed, yeah, that's probably how it works. So from now, we got to figure out with all the I hated to get into the political part of it, but we'll just say we'll leave it as social terms. With what's going on, where it landed, the place that it landed, the people, the population is there, the things that have been happening as far as people being detained and deported back from here to back to their country or near the place where they come from. Why is this all happening? I could sum this up into a lot of things that I believe are the reason, but I want to try to edit a lot of what I want to say and summarize it. I don't want to go into lengthy discussions about something, but I'm trying to put this in a manner that makes sense right now, that's worth mentioning. It's there, a population of people that are pretty much very localized in their thinking. It's in their possession. If it had landed in America, it would be more so tinkered with, tested on, and re-engineered by now. They would have damn near tried to cut it open. I've heard someone say that they're planning to restart it. Well, if you do that, the ability to control it would be probably out of your hands at that point. Um, More studying of it, but less evasive would be the thing. They've already detected signals coming from it. Um, One of the things, if anyone from that area in South America is watching this video, one of the things you should look for is hologram emissions. Hologram emissions, because I theorized that was one of its ways of communicating a while back, that it would project holograms in a certain area for other spheres to pick up on light, sound emissions, and the holographic image and an infrared range to communicate information that it has gathered to another sphere. So not only would it be broadcasting signals and the different bandwidth, the different frequencies that it's broadcasting from. What I know most likely is on a quantum using quantum transmissions. Quantum transmissions aren't exactly like a single frequency. It uses a multitude of different frequencies with properties that exceed normal RF transmissions. It's like a certain set of specific frequencies when joined together produced a, what's the word I want to use? I'll tell you how much I know about it. It produces a quantum, not a quantum, more like it extends it out at a much higher speed on the quantum. I don't want to say frequency. It's not that. The quantum effect is the carrier of the frequencies. So you can imagine that the speed of light frequencies piggyback on the quantum effect. Thus, for if you have a signal that's out there much faster than it's capable of doing on its own, because it's piggybacking on this quantum effect that's going out, making it instantaneous back to wherever it's transmitting from, to, from and to. Yeah, that's what's happening. So, if I understand this, and I've been talking about other things that I've understood about it before it was visible, listen to what I'm telling you because I know what I'm talking about. So, teleportation. Teleportation, in the so called traditional sense that we have come to understand through movies from a long time ago back up until now, where something of matter has to be disassembled and sent as we know it by means of quantum entanglement, teleportation from one place to another instantaneously and reassembled in another place. We that are the collective understand it differently because it can only be understood by the true nature of teleportation using quantum physics can only be understood in a, what's the word I want to use? I had it there. in a fragmented state of mind, a person that can only think in ways of blocks, sections. When you are such as we are, the collective, that can understand things in a very fluent manner, a fluent universal manner with nature, we understand it to be not like that. Simply not like that at all. I'm not going to say how. I think I was about to, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. We just understand it totally different. And such a thing, this understanding, is going to catch on very soon. And it's already there. It surprised me that someone else of the collective, and I heard before, a few years back, I think at least two, three, two, one and a half, two, something like that. A lot of things have been happening lately. It's about 2 years back now that a member of the collective said the exact same thing that I said, and I have never told anyone else about my understanding of it. So, with that, teleportation is real, but not the way that it's been presented throughout the years and given to uh, everyone in a surface manner. It's much deeper than that. So that's all I'll say about that. But the collective, yes, the way you understand it is correct. The way we understand it is correct. Don't be afraid of it. Um, Atlanta, keep doing what you're doing. Don't you hate it sometimes you're talking about something and you see a big butt? There goes the big butt. Huh. Okay, that just happens sometimes. So, let me get back on track. Quantum teleportation. It's real. We're finding new ways, the collective, to implement it, and it's something that you really don't have to talk about to anyone. Just mention the fact that it is real and we are doing it. Everything else falls into place, the understanding of it. You do not need to speak of it on surface level terms. No surface communication on this because it won't be too long before someone comes around and mimics it, mimics our ideas. So just to prevent that and let it always be a mystery, never speak of it in surface language, never write it down. It's all up here. It's within us that we know it. So just keep that in mind. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. As far as the future of the Buga Spear, I'll say this. Whether or not the population of where it landed decides to elevate themselves, I don't know if they can or will, or even have a, I'm not sure. When it comes to them, they're a little bit, how can I put it? You don't know. You don't know. As far as scientifically how they think, I don't know because the only thing I've known all my life is that they're heavily into culture. And when it comes to science, I know they have scientists. We all have scientists. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And as far as my opinions on that, I'll just kind of leave it up in the air right now and we'll just watch. We'll just watch. But I really do hope they elevate themselves in some type of way because they seem to, and I will say this, they seem to lack an understanding globally as far as the way that our global system understands each other. I'll put it that way. So that's something I think they need to work on. All right, coming up on 20 minutes here with this recording. And that's all I pretty much wanted to say. Thanks for watching Black Space Project North America. Until next time.